And I think that's really important that members of Congress, this is not about me. This is about attacking our institutions. It's about ensuring that we have loyal opposition and that we're able to speak freely, particularly within our own Congress. I mean, we made those remarks, of course, moments after we had left the committee hearing. And so what's really critical at this moment, I think, for all of us to understand is that we should be allowed to speak freely. And we certainly should be allowed to use figures of speech. And anyone that watches that can see that was a figure of speech or a metaphor in the way we're describing this fight. And it is a fight. This is a fight for democracy.
Boy. So we got to talk about Trump deranged Democrat Congressman Robert Garcia from California, who is now boohoo whining crying victimhood over the fact that the DOJ sent him a strongly worded letter for what appears to be sending threats towards Elon Musk, because this guy went on CNN and he called for the use of, quote, actual weapons against Elon Musk.
I want to hear why, but do you think that calling Elon Musk a dick is effective messaging for confronting what is a potentially irreversible transformation of the U.S. government?
Well, he is a dick. And I think that he's also harming the American public in an enormous way. And what I think is really important, and what the American public want, is for us to bring actual weapons to this bar fight. This is an actual fight for democracy, for the future of this country. And it's important to push back on the chairperson of this committee. I mean, Marjorie Taylor Greene talks about having decorum, about bipartisanship. This is the person that lies more than anybody else in the entire Congress. And so if she is going to make a mockery of hearings, I want to make sure that us as Democrats are bringing that same level of energy. And of course, after those comments, we went into exactly what Elon Musk is trying to do: dismantling the Department of Labor, dismantling the Department of Education, dismantling all of our consumer protection agencies. And so it's all important, but it's also important to get the attention of the American public and call Elon Musk out for what he is, and to make people know that Marjorie Taylor Greene is not a serious legislator and she shouldn't be treated as such.
Yeah, so you see that, you heard that. You guys judge for yourself. Mr. Robert Garcia, a Democrat from California, said we need to bring actual weapons to this bar fight, right? Actual weapons to this bar fight. I'm just saying, to me, the DOJ sending this man a letter saying, hey, can you clarify this? Right? Can you clarify these comments? What exactly did you mean, right, by we need to bring actual weapons? What do you mean by that? I don't think that's out of bounds, right? I don't think that the DOJ is wrong for simply asking a sitting congressman to clarify calls to bring actual weapons to a fight, right? I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying, to me, somebody can hear that and they could reasonably interpret that as maybe a call to violence, right? You said actual weapons. They're not throwing you in jail for it. They're just sending you a letter saying, can you clarify? But for whatever reason, this guy thinks that this is an attack on his free speech, right? Which apparently includes the ability to low-key threaten Elon Musk. And he is running to the liberal outlets to boohoo, whine, and cry victimhood over being targeted by the DOJ with a potential investigation over his words. So let's get into it.
Elon Musk out for what he is.
In response to those comments, the Trump Justice Department engaged in what appears to be a bit of an unprecedented effort to scare or silence the congressman, or both. Acting U.S. Attorney for Washington, D.C., Ed Martin, who I would note also was a defense lawyer for the January 6th insurrectionists, sent a letter to Garcia asking him to clarify his comments. But as former U.S. Attorney Barbara McQuade said, it seems like a fair inference that these letters are designed more to chill free speech than to seek clarification, as they purport to do. And California Congressman Robert Garcia joins me now. Congressman, I find it quite rich that the free speech warriors at the Trump Justice Department would be so worked up about a metaphor you used on CNN. Obviously, there's no bar fight. No one's bringing weapons anywhere. But what do you think they are trying to do here?
It's pretty clear that they are trying to not just intimidate me, but intimidate other members of Congress who are actively opposing and criticizing Donald Trump and Elon Musk from actually speaking. And it's crazy that they want to investigate me for essentially using a metaphor and for taking on Elon Musk. And I think what's really disturbing in this moment is that we know that we've got to fight fire with fire. We know we've got to bring the energy to this fight as Elon Musk is raiding the federal treasury to give himself and his billionaire buddies a tax cut. And they want to police that language. They want to stop us from fighting back. And so
these people are so ridiculous. They're so ridiculous, man. Like the hypocrisy is crazy. You know, it's almost like I never run out of content because these people are the biggest hypocrites in the world. I want you guys to understand, these are the same individuals who were raging over the Trump bloodbath comments, right? You guys remember when Trump was talking about how there's going to be an economic bloodbath if Joe Biden is reelected? These are the same people who are now saying, oh, wait, hold on now. You got to understand it. Saying bring actual weapons to a bar fight, right? That's just a figure of speech. That's just a metaphor. Like, obviously, everybody knows it's a metaphor. Like, you know, stop being so triggered, right? Why are you so triggered over this? Again, the same people who were triggered endlessly for weeks over Trump using a metaphor.
So we were planning to start the show on all of the delays on the legal cases, and there are a lot. And we will spend time on that with two of your absolute favorite legal experts in just a little bit. But then, late yesterday afternoon, Donald Trump spoke at a rally in Ohio, and we decided we have to start here.
We're going to put a 100% tariff on every single car that comes across the line, and you're not going to be able to sell those cars. If I get elected, now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole. That's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That'll be the least of it. But they're not going to sell those cars.
It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That will be the least of it. Now, the Trump team quickly said last night, nothing to see here. He was just talking about the auto industry. Consider the full context, everyone. Otherwise, it's irresponsible. Well, if they want us to consider the full context, let's do just that. Because the full context is that Trump kicked off this same exact rally by saluting the people who were convicted for the deadly assault on the U.S. Capitol on January 6th, all to the tune of the national anthem sung by a choir of imprisoned insurrectionists. The full context is that some of the first words out of Trump's mouth last night, same rally, were thanking those rioters and calling them patriots. The full context is that he also said in this same rally, quote, if this election isn't won, I'm not sure that you'll ever have another election in this country. The full context is that he went on to say some undocumented immigrants are, quote, not people. And of course, the full context is that this is much bigger than one single speech. This embrace of political violence, this dehumanizing language. This is what Donald Trump has been preaching for years.
Now, all of a sudden, they're upset. They're upset because the DOJ is saying, okay, Mr. Democrat, you're saying things that could be interpreted as a call to violence, and we need you to clarify. Now they got a problem with that. Now, I want you guys to imagine, if Trump said we need to bring actual weapons to a fight, if he said that, do you think that the liberal media will be giving President Trump the benefit of the doubt the same way that they're giving Robert Garcia the benefit of the doubt? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If a Republican or President Trump said the exact same words this guy said, they would not be giving them the benefit of the doubt. They would be saying, this is violence, right? This is unacceptable. You guys remember the comments that President Trump made about Liz Cheney, right? When he was clearly talking about Liz Cheney being a warmonger, okay? And how, she doesn't know how it feels to fight a war. And maybe if she understood how it feels to actually fight a war, she wouldn't be so quick to try to start wars, right? Yeah. The media blew up over that too. But, you're not supposed to blow up over a Democrat calling to bring actual weapons to a fight. The double standard is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Again, the DOJ just sent a letter. Hey, can you clarify? That's it, right? That's it. That's what they did. But, again, this guy he's trying to play victim here. Where he knows exactly what he was doing.
Look, we take this threat seriously. At the same time, we're not going to be silenced by Elon Musk or by Donald Trump.
This feels to me, I just was talking about Russia earlier, propaganda, so it's a natural flow into that. I mean, this feels like a classic MAGA case of trying to flip the script, right? Even Ed Martin suggesting Democrats are trying to threaten DOJ workers. How do you're not going to stand down, as you said, but how do you stop them from getting away with this effort to flip the script?
Yeah, so again, it's so funny. Jen Psaki is worried about the narrative, right? That's what she's worried about here. The reality is that Democrats actually are violent, right? You are violent. So when you come out here and you say things like that, we've seen actual violence happen as a result. So in the full context of the history of violence in this country that comes from the far left, I think it's reasonable to ask questions when Democrats say things like what Mr. Robert Garcia said. So ultimately, at the end of the day, this dude can cry foul all he wants. But the hypocrisy of the Democrats here is clearly on display once again. These people were the same people who were boo-hoo-whining and crying about everything that Trump said during the campaign for the last 8 years straight. And all of a sudden, they want to cry victim because the DOJ sent a letter to a Democrat about what to me seems like a threat, right? A thinly veiled threat to Elon Musk. Okay. And again, we know that because these people have such a long history of violence in this country, it is reasonable to ask questions about, hey, what did you actually mean? Right? What did you mean? And if you don't like that, then I don't know, maybe the left should stop being so violent, right? Stop being so violent. Stop making all these thinly veiled threats. Okay. Maxine Waters telling her supporters to get in the faces of people, get in their faces, right? This is what they do all the time. And they're finally being held accountable. And we all know how much Democrats hate accountability, right? So that's what you have here. Okay. Democrat hating the fact that they're being held accountable. Okay. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.